Hey Scorpio, this is your look at the astrology of May 2021. My name is Katie Sweetman, and this is Empowering Astrology. So let's look at the bigger picture, and that is the fact that it's Taurus season. It's Taurus season for most of May of 2021, and Taurus season for you, Scorpio, is relationship season. Now, this, of course, means all relationships, not just romantic partnerships. So the spotlight is on the other people in your life and how you connect, socialize, and interact with them. It's a time to reconsider relationship, reevaluate relationship, especially the relationships that are just not cutting it anymore. I think it's important to also mention a bigger part of what is going on right now. And I talked about this likely last month or in my weekly videos or the things that I write on Instagram or Facebook, but there is this bigger story going on, and that's where you are in the midst of a 7-year story. So yes, 7 years in total of reinventing how you connect with other people. So for some Scorpios, you have started relationships in the last couple of years or even the last year where it's with people who are radically different than the status quo. If let's say you had this terrible wasteland of relationships and then somebody comes in and they are completely different, but here's the thing, it's totally pushing all your buttons, Scorpio, because Scorpio, you are in a time when you have to sort of let your guard down. You have to open up to other people. Life teaches us, astrology teaches us that we can't do things alone. So how do you use this time? How do you use Taurus season to really make yourself more vulnerable, open up to other people, to bring in those new relationships that completely shake up the way you see things. And again, this is not just romantic partnership. I mean, this could be a lover, this could be somebody that you're just dating, but it also talks about the people who come in and they completely turn a light switch on and shake up everything that you know. So really keep an eye out for that story, because this is a story that's going to be with you until 2025, 2026. This is a story that began in May of 2018, March of 2019. So this is just something to keep on your radar, and especially as we go into the Taurus new moon on May 11th. Sorry, look it up. May 11th, there's a Taurus new moon, and it's sort of this, refresh, renewal of this story around relationship. And then by then, because at the beginning of May, we have Mercury going into Gemini on May 3rd. We have Venus, your relationship planet, going into Gemini on May 8th. And when those planets shift into Gemini, maybe the conversation or maybe what you're connecting to with a partner it's more about that vulnerability. It's more about that open-hearted connection, or maybe it's the emotional discomfort that comes from letting your guard down, Scorpio. Scorpio, you're a fixed sign. The fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. Their jobs are to keep things fixed. But this is something else to keep in mind. What is happening right now throughout 2021, and to be fair, over the next few years, the things that are fixed are not so fixed anymore. Especially in 2021, because we have Saturn square Uranus this month into next month, and it's like the tectonic plates are pushing and pulling in your life right now. There are some big shifts this month. First is on May 13th, Jupiter goes into Pisces. For you, Pisces is the sign of romance, creativity, self-expression. So maybe that's going to give you a little bit more of a boost in the romance department come May 13th. But it also talks about you expressing you, and maybe, like I said, letting people in means revealing all of you. Jupiter helps to inspire, it gives faith, it gives confidence, and maybe you're going to feel yourself as you go into the second half of this month. Do keep in mind that Jupiter will only be in Pisces until the end of July. It's a little bit of a preview. It goes back out to Aquarius, and then it goes back into Pisces on, I believe it's December 28th. But you're getting this little boost little boost in your step, a little boost in your confidence, a little boost in your style. And maybe that's going to give you a little bit of a different flavor as you connect with people this month, and new people come in, whether they are platonic, whether they are lovers, whether they are, more of a serious relationship. So like I said, that part of your life is shifting and shaking up. Then there is Saturn. Saturn turns retrograde on May 23rd. Now, Saturn is going to be down in Aquarius. Aquarius is what's called your sign of home and family until March of 2023. Saturn is the planet that looks at the receipts. It's the authority. It's the accountability. And so you are in general in a time where it's about settling down. Maybe you're thinking about moving, Scorpio. Maybe you're thinking about making a big move. But this is a time where whether you are staying put where you are, if you're going someplace else, that place needs to really support you in this new chapter of your life. So it's a time to prioritize family and connection and creating stable roots and foundation in your life. This is where the accountability and the receipts come in, because Saturn on May 23rd is checking in on your progress. It's another page turn in a story that's going to take you into the beginning of 2023. So maybe you're making some big decisions around the time that Saturn turns retrograde. If it's a change in your household, maybe that's around the time that you're making the decision. If it's a move, if it's somebody moving in or somebody moving out, or a matter involving family, just kind of keep an eye on that May 23rd date. Again, Saturn is making something called a square to Uranus. So major, like the major angles of your chart are in movement this year, Scorpio. And I feel like I said this to a Scorpio client recently, I'll say it to you. Scorpio, you're really good at keeping things, being in charge of everything, trying to be in control of everything. But I think 2021 is that year where you can't be in control of everything. It's like the earth is moving beneath your feet. You cannot hold the earth in one place. Even you, Scorpio, cannot hold the earth in one place. So as we get into the end of this month, we're going to have a lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. Yes, it's eclipse season. That's kind of I think I buried the lead. But there's a lot going on in this month. It's not just eclipse season, but certainly eclipse season makes May very interesting. So what do eclipses do? Just refresh. Eclipses, they change the narrative. They put a huge punctuation, exclamation mark on a certain part of your life. It says that over the next 6 months, this part of your life is shifting and changing in some way. So what is Sagittarius for you? It's money. It's income, it's material stability, and material worth. You did a lot of work a few years ago about really defining what your values are and what you want your money to mean in your life. But this is a time for you to make some decisions about money. Maybe you're thinking about making a big purchase. Maybe it's a little bit more esoteric or philosophical. Sagittarius is a very philosophical sign. With Jupiter in Pisces at the time of the lunar eclipse, I think that there's going to be this play between like creativity, self-expression, and you and the value of that. What is the value of you? Is there a dollar sign or a currency put towards that, or is it intrinsic? Is it internal? So I think some issues around self-worth are getting pressed as you go into the end of the month. But because these eclipses, the one that's on the 26th of May or the one that's on the 10th of June, there's going to be a solar eclipse on June 10th. It is so much about money right now. Money, material stability, and because it is a time about settling down, maybe you're thinking about purchasing a home. Maybe you're trying to get money together for a down payment. Maybe you're thinking about, well, wow, that's a future thing. Maybe I need to make plans for the future. Or is that even something I value? Is that something that I really truly need to spend money on? Are my values someplace else? Because there's so much going on in relationships, for some Scorpios, this is a time when there's a lot of movement in relationships, a lot of movement in the home environment, and even a lot of movement in the bank account. So people are moving in, people are moving out. The story is changing, Scorpio. Yes, even you, Scorpio, cannot keep things from changing. That's my joke about Scorpio, is it's a sign that's all about transformation. But here's the thing. We don't want transformation, only when it's on our terms. Well, that's the thing about 2021. It's not on our terms. So Scorpio, that's a lot for you to think about, including the fact that Mercury turns retrograde on May 30th. I mean, nothing to be of concern about. It's really for you to just do your due diligence as you go into June. It's eclipse season. Things are shaking. Things are moving. A lot of your buttons are getting pressed. Am I safe? Is everything going to be okay? Yes. Get a hug, Scorpio. So until next month, Scorpio, this is your look at the astrology of May of 2021. My name is Katie Sweetman. I'm an astrologer and psychic medium here in Brooklyn, New York. And you can follow me online at Empowering Astrology. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. You can sign up for my newsletter. You can book a consultation with me. And you can also subscribe to this YouTube channel. So until next month, take care. Bye.